Hello, my name is Dr. John Soule, and I am with the Ritchey Science and Engineering Fair at Weber State University. The purpose of this video is to help you do as good a job as you possibly can on your presentation at whatever level of fair you're presenting at so that your project can become one of the top projects at the fair. Your display and your presentation are what is being judged. Those have to tell the judge what it is that you did and how well you know it. So your judge needs to know certain things, and it is your job to make sure you get that information across to your judge. Part of that involves the spiel. The spiel, as we often call it, that's your oral presentation that you give to the judge that explains your project, must tell what you have done. It must tell the story of your project. And you should have at least 2 versions. Actually, I like 3 versions. I like to have a full version, a short version, and then an intermediate version as well. This video is going to talk to you about some key points on doing well with your presentation. So what are the judges looking for? The judges have to answer these questions. How much did you do? How much did your mentor or advisor do? If you did it in a research laboratory, did you do the analysis and the data collection, or did a graduate student or an undergraduate student collect the data for you? What part did you play in collecting this data? How did you do your data analysis? How much work did you put into understanding the data and in collecting that data? What did you have available to you that another student didn't have available? Did you take advantage of that resource or not? These are all the sorts of things that the judge has to figure out. And the judge also needs to evaluate, did you make the right conclusions with your data? How does this project compare to other projects? It is your job in your presentation to answer these questions. You can anticipate these questions and answer them on your display board or in your presentation. For example, you may be asked things like, how did you get this idea? How long did it take to do the project? All these sort of questions are listed here, and you can hit pause to read through the questions yourself. Oh, thanks for unpausing me. Read through these questions yourself and understand that each of these questions is designed to answer questions in that previous slide. So what do? You have to have your presentation. We often call that the spiel. I suggest you have at least 2 versions of this. If the judge knows your field really, really well, they'll probably just jump right in with questions and they'll figure out what you've done pretty quickly. For that judge, they'll want the elevator talk, the short description. Then that frees up time for them to be able to ask you lots of questions. If the judge is less familiar with your particular subfield of the topic that they're judging in, they may want the entire description from you so that they know a little bit more background so they can put it in context and know how to rate your project compared to others in their field. So you need to have both of these things prepared. It's interesting to note that this is actually good preparation for you because this is what professionals do and what you will probably do the rest of your life. If I'm at a conference and I have a poster that I'm presenting, I'll have my full talk for somebody who is not familiar with that subfield that I'm in, and I can explain to them exactly what we did and how we went through it, and let it kind of flow with all the details I would like them to know. On the other hand, if it's somebody who's just curious, then I'll give them the short talk. Or if it's somebody who already knows the field, I'll give them the short talk so they have an idea of what we've done. Then we can talk details. The equivalent in a science fair is, instead of talking details, the details are now questions about your project so the judge knows how to grade it. In any case, you need to be able to describe what you have done very, very briefly and very clearly. Now, don't worry about getting interrupted, and you need to expect people to interrupt you. This is actually good because it indicates that they're trying to get clarity and they're trying to understand what it is that you've done, and clearly they're interested in what you've done there. So keep this in mind as you prepare your 2 or 3 talks for a full talk, a short talk, and perhaps one in the middle. Your judge is a fellow human. Science and engineering is a human endeavor. As we try to understand the world around it, is what we do. But as humans, we also like to make connections with each other. We like to feel as though we're part of the conversation. That means, first of all, you need to look at your judge. It's very, very frustrating when you're trying to talk to somebody and they're spending the whole time looking down like this, and they're not really looking at you, or they occasionally look up, and they're busy talking to your shoes or to their shoes. You want to make sure that you make a personal connection with the judge and that you are comfortable with the judge. The judge is there to be on your side. Don't be frightened of the judge. I understand that it is frightening, but try to make a personal connection there. You also have to realize that judges are almost certainly older. In particular, some of them are going to be quite old, maybe like me. And so in that case, all of us, as we age, our ears start to lose some of their function. And it is important that you speak clearly and that you speak up so that your judge doesn't have to struggle to hear you. Remember, in most science fair judging situations, you have hundreds of other projects that are surrounding you, and you need to be able to speak loudly enough and clearly enough that you can be heard above all the other conversations that are happening around you. Now, be careful of who you're talking to. They may be very knowledgeable of the field, but your particular subfield might have some jargon in it that they're not familiar with. While you're making eye contact, if they look a little confused, that tells you there's an opportunity to say something about the word you just said to clarify it. So it may not seem like jargon to you, but it is to somebody who's not as familiar with your particular subfield of the area that you're doing research in. Remember that you are doing a story of what you have done. You are describing this in a very specific way. This is where your display board is incredibly valuable because you can use that as sort of an outline to talk through in order to keep you on track as you go through whatever spiel you're doing, the short one or the long one. And by the way, how do you choose which one? I would just ask the judge. Don't be afraid to say, would you like the short version or would you like the full detailed version of my talk? And they'll tell you right there what they want. Also, as you're going through it, watch your judge's expression. If your judge looks a little confused about something, don't hesitate to say, was that clear enough or would you like some more detail on that? Your judge will quickly answer that question and that will help you in your presentation. Also, as your judge asks questions, when you finish answering it, it doesn't hurt to say, did that answer the question that you were trying to get at? Finally, and I know this is hard, but you want to relax. It's hard because you're being judged. I get that. But if you're relaxed, if you're like a colleague, that will allow you to make a better personal connection and allow you to be better at presenting your ideas to another person. This is how stories are told. Think about your English class, where you were told to write, where you start with an introduction, an introductory paragraph, let's say. Then you have the body of your paper, and then your final paragraph or two or chapter, depends upon how big it is going to be a summary of what all happened. We learn to describe things this way because this is how humans have conversed with each other for hundreds of thousands of years. So you want to do an overview of what you've done. That's your introduction. You want to describe how you did it. That's your methods. You want to describe the results, what it was that you got out of this whole thing, and why we care to begin with as far as what's the importance of this project and where would it go through from here. You are telling a story, and this is why your display board is set up this way. If you think about your display board, and you should go look at that video on display boards, you'll see that it will have these features to it. You start out with an abstract, a hypothesis, your question, your engineering problem. That's telling the story, and that is giving some context to your project. You want to give some more context with a background, and then how it is that you went about doing it. Then you want to show what it is that you did and how you analyzed that result. And then in case of an engineering project, what was the performance of your robot or whatever it was that you built. Finally, what did you conclude from this whole thing? And then you wrap it up with where are we going from here how does this project fit into the overall bigger picture? Attire. What do you want to wear? You want to make sure that you are presentable in a way that you would be at a business meeting. That means that you want to be either business casual or business formal, depending upon the level of the fair. At the international fair and at most regional and state fairs, you should probably be business formal. For guys, that would mean a shirt and coat and tie. For women, the appropriate comparison to that. Likewise, you want to make sure that you're not overly formal. You don't want to be in a tuxedo for this sort of thing. You want to just be business professional. You can look that up on the internet. I also recommend that you go easy on makeup and you don't put on any perfumes or colognes because that can be very distracting, especially if your judge doesn't care for that smell. It may be very distracting. So don't use any of those. Just simply be clean and presentable. Here's an example of a person from the Ritchey Fair that did very well at the International Fair and at the Ritchey Fair. Notice how she is dressed. She is somebody that a judge walking up could look at her and go, oh, this could be a colleague of mine that I'm working with at my company or my university laboratory or wherever it is. Notice how she's poised and very professional looking. This is perfect. For guys, you can use the same sort of a thing. Again, this is at the International Fair. He's got an excellent display board. He's comfortable as he's standing there, ready to be somebody that you would like to work with in your laboratory if you were to hire this person in the future. One of the things that's hard for guys is keeping your hands out of your pockets. Try not to do that. Notice that he's got his hands at his sides and he's comfortable. This is what you want to look like. Best of luck to you, and I hope you do really, really well at your science and engineering fair.